Alright folks, we're back on the modified. We got a lot of work done. It looks a lot different than it used to. We did some work on the front, we did some work on the back. We got some great videos with some good stuff, some great progress on this. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Oh, hey folks, welcome back to KEI Fabrication. Hey, there's a vintage modified hiding behind all that stuff. Alright folks, we're finally back on the modified. I know the 2 or 3 people that watch my channel have been patiently waiting and asking, when are you going to get back to the modified project? I apologize for the long delay. However, the restoration, or what became the restoration of the Mazda, took way longer than I had anticipated. Probably 2 months longer. So this just had to go on the back burner, and then as soon as the weather broke in April, we had to get our camper out of the storage and do some repair to that, and had to do some maintenance on my wife's car. So delay after delay after delay, we finally got it dragged out from under the Mazda, brought over into this bay, and we're making some progress. So stick with me. We're going to make a significant amount of progress in a short period of time here, and I'll give you updates on what we're up to. If you remember, the last part of the videos on the channel on this was the car looks a little different now, so we'll go into detail on those things. So look forward to some more rapid progress on this, more videos more regularly. I have 2 car shows that this is going to go to in the next month and a half. One of them is just going to be as a roller, and the one in mid-June, I'm really hoping that this thing will be moving around under its own power. It's a super ambitious goal, but the only way to do it is stop talking and get to work. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll see you in the next video. Well, I had to make a trip to the local exhaust shop this morning, and as it turned out, they had some stuff in stock for me to get the muffler on this modified. So even though I'm not currently working on this, and I should be working on something else. It's too tempting not to see how it works out. Kind of looks racy already, doesn't it? I'm liking it. I think that's going to work. Hi to all the women and children. That ain't gonna work. Oh, the old pilot drill is bent. Alright, so it may not look like it, but there's a lot going on and a lot that is necessary to make this little radiator project correct. A couple things. You saw me put the notches in the frame, and some of you might have said, ooh, he just ruined the frame, he's weakened it, so on and so forth. And potentially that would have been correct, but I don't know if you noticed, but I put a 3/16 thick plate the entire height of the frame and welded it top and bottom, and then I put an 1/8 inch thick C-notch that you saw me make out of some 4-inch box tubing. I rosette welded it to the 3/16 plate. So if this thing takes a shot in the nose and it tries to bend it up and down, the section thickness of the frame and the additional material, now granted, hard enough hit, anything's going to bend, but it shouldn't fold like an accordion or tin foil. It should be able to take a pretty good smack. So the purpose of going through that was to get the radiator to drop down a little bit. I don't know if you can see, but when I cut the frame, I actually angled it so the radiator was going to be at an angle, because, you know, radiators at an angle looks cool, and that makes it a race car because the radiator is mounted at an angle. The other thing is, if you study the pictures closely, the radiator support on the original car also was the shock mount, and the shocks, the lower shock mounts, will be on the wishbone in the area of the spring hanger. And I needed to know how tall the radiator was going to be, number one, so when we put a hood on this thing, it clears the radiator and clears the air cleaner. Hopefully you can see the string line between the air cleaner. So there's a good 1/2 inch gap there. Just worst case scenario kind of thing. So the bar that is going to go left to right across the top of the radiator, I want it high enough so the hood clears the radiator and the bar sticks up higher than all of that. So I've got the string line to help me figure out where the minimum height of that bar needs to be, and the height of my, basically what's going to become my shock towers, and then off of the shock towers will be the brackets that come out and pick up the radiator. So pretty happy. I got room for the fan. The upper radiator hose has clearance at least 1.5 inches between the top of the blade and the bottom of the hose. So that's pretty much where the radiator is going to live. Kind of looks cool. So now the plan is to start fabricating the shock tower and radiator support, and then the tube, I'm probably going to make it out of round tube to connect the left vertical to the right vertical, and kind of make it with a radius in it out of round tubing. So when the hood is on there, the hood will have a slight curvature as well, kind of to match the cowl. So we'll put a little bend in the middle of the tubing, and that should get the hood to slope a little bit, and hopefully it'll be consistent. So enough talking, let's get to work. Well, there's the first shock that's been on the car in about 45 years. Alright gang, what we got going on here is, if you look at the pictures that I'll put up for you to see, on the right front, it was pretty common back in the mid-60s to run two shock absorbers on this. So if you look at the pictures, you'll see two shock absorbers mounted basically off of some crude angle iron down here in this area. So I'm going to duplicate that just to be representative of what this was raced with. So I've got the actual shock. It's going to be compressed to about here, and that's where the bracket's going to come off. And I've got my fixture here to help locate where that bracket is. The shock bracket actually needs to be for the shock to be in the sweet spot in terms of its compression and extension. So I'm going to continue to develop some bracketry for that, hopefully bring that to completion. So I don't know if you saw there or noticed, but when you flip the part to drill the rest of the way through, it automatically deburrs the other side. So that's why I did that. Four upper shock brackets. Give them a quick tune-up on the belt sander. Give them that brushed finish look. Not too bad. This is the store-bought brackets. These are the ones I just created. They don't always sell exactly what you need. Sometimes you have to make it. And of course, when you're working at night, you don't want to wait for even an Amazon delivery next day or whatever. You need to have them now. So this probably took the better part of an hour to do 4 of these, including drilling the holes and everything. But not terrible, but at least I got them and I can finish the job that I started. So let's show you how to turn stock street shocks into racing shocks. Now for the finishing touch. Because racing shocks have travel indicators on them. Alright, we got all the shocks installed. We got them converted to race shocks. And the right front has 2 shocks on it, like it did back in the 60s. Pretty cool. Looks racy. Alright, until next time, remember, if you're going to be stupid, be smart about it.